One's 20s are a time of exploration and discovery. The emotional, psychological, and social changes experienced during this developmental phase have been given many names. The most pronounced of the titles, however, is quarter-life crisis. According to Paul McFedry's Word Spy, the quarter-life crisis is defined as feelings of confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt experienced by some people in their 20s, especially after completing their education. NicoleDenise.org interviewed three 20-somethings in various stages of a self-diagnosed quarter-life crisis. The interviewees all had college degrees and shared a common questioning concerning the direction of their lives. Here are their stories.
My name is Jordina Alexander. I'm 26 years old. I graduated from Florida State in 2010 with a degree in history, and I joined AmeriCorps shortly after that, and then now I work for the city of Tampa during office support. I would say I am definitely going through the crisis. I think I'm at that age or moment in time or in my life where I can look back and, write down the mistakes that I've made or misdirection or lack of guidance. And then you look to the future and you realize that you either have to redo everything or you're going to continue down like a miserable path. And I would say that's where I am, right now. I was very good at writing papers. I was very good at expressing opinions, so history, I loved history. So I majored in history because I thought that other, employers would interpret that I can knock out a paper, like a 5-page paper in an afternoon. I thought they would interpret that as, wow, she'd be a great researcher, she'd be great, in analyzing data, she'd be a great asset. But they didn't interpret it that way. So now I'm at a career standstill where I can't, on paper, so to speak, prove to them exactly what I can do. It's only what have you done, not what can you bring to this table, because your degree doesn't say, business or tech or information systems. It makes me feel depressed, and I guess depression consists of being lost and being scared to make a decision, or scared to make a decision, but extremely hesitant to make any decisions because I realize now what a snap decision, how it can impact your future. I am able to do quite a lot because what college does to you is make you able to adapt to several different situations very quickly, learn it, finish the work, execute it, and move on. But in the career market, it sounds like a good idea. The skills that you pick up in college is you can learn anything and do it and then apply it, get an A, I guess, or, succeed in it in the professional world, and you can move on. So you have the ability to do anything, but it takes so long to convince others that you're able to do those things that you end up back at square one. For me, I'm trying to consolidate my wants and needs, and figure out which path, it's not the easiest to go down, but which path would cause the least amount of damage.
Right now I'm a teacher. I have been for the past 3 years. And, I teach U.S. history. I have a master's in U.S. history. I'm passionate about the subject, but I feel like, I'm at a point where I want to make more money, and I want to have a little bit more freedom in my ability to teach history. Some of the things that I want to talk about are not part of the curriculum for the classroom, and I found that some of the conversations and discussions that I'm able to get into with the different groups of kids, I would probably enjoy or be able to add more and go a little bit further if I was working and teaching at a higher level. And then there is the issue of financing at a higher level. Do I want to pay $100,000 to possibly make 65? I'm one of those people that had to move back in with my parents because I own a home in a market that is not suited for selling. I'm about $30,000 upside down I here? What am I here for? Why did I have to come back here? Purpose of buying a home was to not have to come back here. So that aspect has, I try not to dwell on it and focus on it, but when I do, it is a very depressing point, very depressing place. It makes me angry at times. When you're white and you go through a quarter-life crisis and you move back in with mommy, it's painted to be this grand, wonderful, eventful thing that we're running through the meadows, we're in the fields, we're doing this and that with our friends, and everyone is encouraging and helping. And when you're black and, you go through different situations where you don't know what you want to do or you have to move back home, your own community looks at you in a negative light. So it's just not where I would have envisioned myself being at 29.
The quarter life crisis for me, I think, became different. And I just started thinking about this when I graduated school. Because by the time I graduated school, I had graduated college. I had basically started gaining my weight back. Before I actually, by the time I got to FAMU, I had lost over like 100 pounds. I thought that when I get to FAMU, I'm going to be this different person and I could be able to embark on my life and become this educated, smart, well-spoken woman, because college is kind of really where you think you do. You try to find out who you really are because you're away from your parents. You kind of be able to define yourself by your own terms and not what everybody tells about you. And then when I get to FAMU, I had this kind of I would like to call it the Disney dream. You know how Disney, there's a woman and she's struggling and then she, some man comes up and kind of pursues her and then they gallop off in the sunset on a white horse or something like that. And you think that's what college is. You think college is that point where your childhood, even though you may be 18 years old, you officially become an adult. And that could be further from the truth. I looked at, going to college as this place where it's recognition and you become a star. When I went to FAM, I ended up becoming a bit of an introvert because I didn't understand that, with that part comes a lot of pressure. So what I end up being is being a student, but not being the student that I wanted to be. Okay, now I graduate. Of course, at college, you think that you're gonna make straight A's. No, you don't. I didn't apply myself, and although I knew I had the goods, I didn't apply myself. So therefore, my GPA comes out to be a 2.5 GPA. I don't apply myself in every way possible. I don't give myself enough time to be able to do this. So now I'm sitting here, 2.5 GPA. A master's program is not going to take me, because I don't have that. I'm not able to go to school. So I have literally a foot into adulthood, but didn't fully prepare myself for the full force of the world. Okay, you graduate 6 months later. You have student loans. You have yet to, and the career that you thought you wanted, once you start putting your foot in it, you really don't like that. You want to switch, but your major doesn't allow you to do that. You are not physically where you are as far as health is concerned. Relationships, I don't know what about that. You see people who were admired in the distance, and you realize they're doing things that you've always wanted to do. They are meeting the president. They are have clerkships and internships with judicial things. They are traveling to Egypt. They are learning their second language. Listen, I'm 27. I just realized I wanted to go to law school, okay? And I'm damn near 3 years before 30. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so we're looking like, okay, Mom, we must be failures because we didn't know what we wanted to do. And then what we did choose, we don't want to do that now. Mm-hmm. So now we become the failures where people who knew they wanted to become lawyers and knew they wanted to become doctors and knew they wanted to become politicians, they're embarking on their career immediately going. So we're stuck like, okay, well, now what do I do? And and most importantly, do you have that second chance? Because in this world, our generation, I don't know if we're generating X, Y, Z, or P, or whatever we are, we were taught all our lives that we can do whatever we want to do. And that's not necessarily true. We have such pressure that you can do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it and everything like that. And then you come to the realization that is literally, no, you can't. We live in this Disney world to think that everything is supposed to have this feeling of immediate gratification. You go to school and you do what you have to do. You'll become whoever you want to be. There are people who go to school and become exactly who they want to be, but they're unfulfilled. We're living this life that we think that our cup is runneth over. Everything is this high sense of being and this high sense of feeling, and that's not what life is.